I see Adrena. Hey, Adrena, Jamaican Barbie. How you doing? Hello, Danny. One love. I hear you, Danny. Hold on, let me just get this one thing. Let's see, turn this off. Hello, Shannon.
Hello, Solomon.
Hey, it's working right. We having technical difficulties. We're trying something new with this new thing. I'm trying different things.
We are not having technical difficulties. You are having.
Hey, I've been down here 30 minutes messing with this, so I don't know. Hey, everybody. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, tonight subject was why the narcissist lies and can they tell the truth? So we we're gonna dive into this for a little while. I think a lot of us know the question, can they tell the truth? We kind of know, what that actually means. So thanks, Adrena, for that. Yeah, so we're trying different things. So yeah, let's get into this. I'm gonna say a few things, why I think narcissists like to lie and some of the things they say. Some of them y'all heard, some of them maybe not. One thing is they say don't worry. They say don't worry. Why do they say don't worry? I mean, I guess what you can say is they feel they have everything together, or they try to convince you to have everything together, but usually they don't. It's a lie. So it's like a lie they tell. Another one, it's not my fault. It's your fault. It's a lie. It's usually their fault. It's a narcissist's fault. That should be. We done seen it in relationships and at work. It's usually the narcissist's fault. So when they hit you with that line, just have your little antennas up and be like, wait, hold on, I heard this before. Another one, I would never lie to you. That's a lie. That's a lie. I mean, come on. Think about it. That's a lie. I would never lie to you. I can't say that myself because I didn't lie about things myself. So not saying I'm a narcissist, but what I'm saying is, narcissist, when the person is a narcissist, what we're talking about, and they saying different things like this, it's probably a lie. The last one that I'm going to say on just the lies that I picked out 4, when you're dealing with a narcissist, they say I love you. That ain't true either. It's not true. Hey, how you doing, Coach Natisha? Yeah, so yeah, that's not true either. When they tell you I love you and you're in a relationship, you're dealing with a narcissist, that's gonna be a lie. They're using you for whatever they can get out of you, but love is not necessarily what they're doing. Shannon, what you got to say about those 4 things I just said about the lies?
Oh, well, anytime I talk about something, I'm gonna always hit it from the spiritual perspective. So you already know you're dealing with Leviathan, you're dealing with the father of pride and lies, and Satan himself is the author and the father of lies. So it's gonna, they can't tell the truth to save their life. So if their mouth is moving, then that lies are coming out of it. So they mix in a little truth with a whole lot of lies. Okay. So yeah, you just take what they say with a grain of salt, whether it's in the workplace, whether it's your friend, whatever, that what they say, that they can't be honest. So they're going to lie to you, and then they're going to lie to other people about you. So absolutely. And then if it's from a personal relationship, they're going to say things like, you're my soulmate. I never met anyone like you. Anything to make you feel special in the beginning. Now, in the end, you're going to be the worst. Whatever they told you is going to be the exact opposite of what they told you in the beginning. So, yeah, everything that you said, we could go on all day about lies and narcissists. So.
That's true. That's true. I mean, it's so many times that, and we both, like we said, we for y'all that know our story, we actually about to do a live one. I think it's gonna be next Friday. We actually go both tell our story at the same, well, you know, then the same show, so you'll be able to see both of that. But both stories. But you know, in the past, yeah, we dealt with narcissists and the lies, just on top of lies on top of lies. It's like they tell one lie and that lie, you know, I know y'all heard the snowball, so it's a big snowball thing, and before you know it, in my situation, you got a narcissist that's married to somebody else in a whole nother country. That's how big the lie got. It got that big. For y'all that seen one of my lives, you know what I'm talking about. So we'll dig into that next week. But yeah, the lies are just it's sad, and it's sad that grown-ups have to lie and continue to lie. So it kind of sucks, to be honest with you. And then once you find out they lying, it's like the worst. Go ahead, Shannon. What you want to say?
Yes. Oh, once you find out that they're lying. Oh, I'm just the comments. Like Adrena said, we'll always be best friends if it's a friend. Yeah, it's major. It's just lies on top of lies. So you just have to start filtering through it and just pay attention and, you know, go slowly in friendships, you know, and business relationships. There's going to be people that you bond with, but you want to make sure that, you know, you're paying attention to that voice, to that voice inside of you, the Holy Spirit, your intuition, whatever you want to call it. But it's telling you. And then once you heal, you start to see that this isn't normal for things to move at this rapid pace. This isn't normal for somebody to be telling me these things this soon. But, you know, when you're unhealed, that love and that love bombing and all those lies, they seem, to an unhealed person, somebody, like I always say, somebody who's operating in a self-love deficit, then those things seem attractive. But when you heal, you're like, whoa, pump your brakes. Let's slow it down a little bit. I like you. They're like, I love you. You like, whoa, I like you. So, yes, you got to slow it down a little bit.
Yeah, Drina put a good thing up there. That's what I said about 3 weeks ago prior to discards. So I was being devalued, even when she made that sickening statement. And that's the thing. I mean, when you go through that, man, it's so much that the narcissist does to lie to us and trick us and tell us different things. And my thing is, like, it's like we keep coming back for more. But in our defense, it's like you don't know. When you don't know, you just don't know. Yeah. And it's not until we realize what's going on and we figure out some of the things that they are saying is really lies, then we're like, wow, okay. You know, so it's one of those things that, you know, you have to learn. Somebody have to tell you, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes you might stumble up on it, you know, and then sometimes, like Shannon did, you got to go do your own research and figure out why this person acting this way. So, I mean, it sucks, though, to be honest with you, it really does.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and they go in like that. That to me, and I don't know if you watched my video, it was all a lie. That to me was like so sobering, coming to that realization that everything this person said, like everything from start to finish, like somebody went in, absolutely, they rush and force you. Like this person went in with the mindset of, I'm going to be deceptive. I'm a Decepticon. And I'm going to transform into whoever you want me to be, you know, in order to hook you. So they mirror you, they study you. So they are nothing but pathological liars. So, you know, I say the best thing to do, you know, me personally, everybody has to walk their own path. And some people choose to stay married to these people and some people choose to stay in relationship. But for me, absolutely not. Absolutely not. How can you have a relationship or a foundation with someone that you know is inherently evil and inherently a liar? So I don't know.
It's a tough situation to be in. I was reading something earlier and I wrote it down as a weird question that goes along with what we're talking about. It said, do narcissists know they lying? And I say yes, they do. I mean, they're aware of what they're doing. They're aware they're adults. They're aware they've been dishonest. They've been deceitful, like I said earlier. So yes, they're aware. And you know, psychologists and things like that are trying to say different things that where it's, different forms of PTSD and things like that play a part in it. But come on now, they're adults. They know they lying. They know if they cheated on you and they tell you they didn't do it, they know they slept with this other person. So come on, we're not building rockets. This like self-explanatory. So
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. So yeah, the narcissists do know they lie. So don't let them fool you and say, well, I didn't know that. Yeah. They knew.
Well, it's like asking somebody, do you know you're breathing? Yeah, you know you're breathing. You may not be conscious on a conscious level. You might not be saying, ooh, 1, 2, 3, 4, but you know you're breathing. And that's how narcissists is. You're aware that they are aware that they're liars, but it's become, second nature to them to lie. So it's just they lie as easy as they breathe. Unfortunately.
I like that. I mean, that's a real breakdown right there. That's true. That's true. Let's get into some other things. Now I might be wrong on this, but I think Shannon might agree with me. Most narcissists think they're smarter than everybody else.
Yeah, they do. They think they're able to fool everybody. They, those spirits take over their mind and, help them do the most atrocious things. They think they're they do. They think they're the smartest person in the room. They know everything. That's what they project anyway, that they know everything. That's that prideful spirit. So absolutely. But they're not very smart. Some of them are, book smart, but really they're still children inside. So at a maturity level. So, they're not very smart.
Yeah, and to piggyback off of that, like a lot of shows we watch where we see different narcissists, like we can tell this person's a narcissist. And like Shannon watched some of these shows like Fear Thy Neighbor and things like that. Well, some of these shows, some of these people are narcissists, and for some reason they think they can trick the police and the FBI and the government. I'm like, so you're just really that smart, aren't you? Now you're just really that dumb. You think you're smart. So yeah, narcissists, the ones that I've come across and like personally, I'm talking about on TV, they're really not that smart. They think they smart and they talk a good game. Like most of them, like I know y'all old school say a good mouthpiece. A lot of them got a good mouthpiece, so they're able to talk and talk the lingos and the languages and stuff like that. But when you have a real conversation with them, they don't really know what's going on. So they're not that smart on a bunch of issues. And I'm not just talking about just with regular stuff, just a bunch of issues. They're really not that smart on it. So
because they're underdeveloped. They're underdeveloped in a lot of ways, but they're skilled. They're skilled in ways that we don't want to be skilled in. So because they have, they'll, how they do, they're backhanded. So they're skilled at manipulation. They're skilled at lying. They're skilled in ways that we don't want to be skilled in. So that's how they win. Like if you ever go to court with the narcissist, they can outsmart you. I've been outsmarted by narcissists in a courtroom because I don't play by the same rules. So we're not even on the same playing field because I'm up here basically, or we're up here and they are down there. I'm just telling you the honest to God truth, So you cannot win with someone who with a pig who loves playing in the pig pen. If you're not a pig, I don't roll around in the mud. So they're already at an advantage, especially in courtrooms and on jobs where you can be scrupulous and still get rewarded. So in those ways, it seems like they've outsmarted you. And in that smear campaign, in those ways, they are skilled at those things because if they took all those, if they took all the smartness and put that into making themselves better and took that into making themselves heal, they would be, they could be, the sky's the limit, but they don't. And they put all that energy and all that skill into lying and manipulating and deceiving and conning people. So, yeah.
Yeah, look at what Adrena said. I remember her coming to me for how she could lie on a resume she was trying to put together. She couldn't think of how to describe her professional qualities. Now that's her professional qualities, and she can't describe herself. Come on, man. That's I don't even know what to say to that. I mean, I just read it, I understand it, but it's like, wait, what? You can't describe what you've done professionally for the last 10, 15, 20 years?
But why would you see? And that's the thing. That's what I'm saying. She puts that much energy into attacking someone else. Like, how sickening is that? And we don't think like that. We don't think on that level. Like, I'm going to take all this energy into writing a fake resume or whatever the case is. You could be doing your real resume and doing good things, but you choose to do evil. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's not good. You're getting into some deeper stuff. Narcissists, I don't know if y'all know this. I think some of y'all do. Are compulsive liars. So they don't, like I said, they don't just tell just one little, what they call it, white lie. They tell a lot of big lies, and they can be dirty, and the lies can just get out of control. So the compulsive lying is like, I mean, I guess I could say it's something in their mental. I don't know. I mean, I'm not a doctor, so maybe it's something in their mental. I'm not sure, but they are really compulsive liars. And we've all seen them where they just lie and lie and lie, and you catch them in a lie, you still like, wait, what? And you almost start believing their lies. Ain't that that's messed up?
They lie about things they don't need to lie about. And then once you find that out, and then it makes you question other things. I'm like, so when you find out, you're like, wait, you lied about that too? And it's like, why did you lie about that? It was no need to even lie about that, but they are compulsive liars.
Wow, look at what Adrena just posted too, talking about that same one. She's skilled at how to run a cult because she literally studies cults, and some of the most golly. That's all a part of that line though. Con artists is a big liar. If they're not a compulsive liar, I don't know what a liar is, because con artists, that's basically what they do. They lie all the time. So yeah, that's sad.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like I said, if they took that and studied something, how to make themselves better, but they can't see that they are a problem. So yeah.
Dang, that's good. Jamaican Barber said, I don't remember the good parts of my ex-narcissist. I just remember the lies and deception. And that's kind of what they leave you with. They leave you just wondering, like, what just happened? Like, I just wasted the last however many years of my life. And I've been through that. Shannon has been, she can speak to that too. Yeah, you like I said, my last marriage, it's like it almost didn't happen. It's like, I can blink, like, did that really just happen to me? So yeah, I'm with you. That ex-narcissist leave you, yeah, you just stuck.
But some people, that's all they'll remember. And I see people that like that, and they're just like, oh, I remember when we did this, and I remember when we did that. And I'm just like, oh, so you just remember the good parts.
Yeah.
No, you gotta remember, remember it all. Don't just remember the good parts, because those usually are far and few, in between.
Yeah, that's true. And like I said, with the narcissists, when you're with them, it's like a lot of dark clouds, a lot of dark times. I'm not saying it's all unhappy. You will have some happiness, but once you start unwrapping some of this stuff, you just go see, oh, that was a lie. That was a lie. They'll tell you stuff like their mom died or they had cancer, and you start like, their mama alive. Or they never had cancer, and it sucks they lie on stuff like that. Why they do it, I don't know, but it's just sad that they do things like that. It's like, really, that's what we doing?
Yeah, I see them lie on their kids. They be like, "Oh, my kids." You know how people say they supposed to swear their kids. They like, "Oh, my kids." Like, I'm telling the truth, and you like, "Oh my goodness, somebody put this on their kids." Oh, they can't be. You can't be lying, right? Narcissists be lying their butt off.
Yeah, look what Daddy said. Daddy said oftentimes asked her, "Do you listen to yourself when you talk?" I mean, because it's like they said the other week. I mean, when they mouth open, they lie. Basically, they mouth moving, it's probably a bunch of lies coming out. Whatever they're talking about. That's a good one, Daddy. So yeah, like other things narcissists do, with the line, and then getting into the question, can they tell the truth? Yeah, they can tell the truth. I mean, let's just be honest. They can, but they choose not to. So that's the problem. That's a big problem. So it's like knowing what's going to happen at a football game. Like, what's going to happen at the end, but I'm lying to you and telling you, your team didn't win. I know they won, but it's a lie. So it's the same thing with this right here. You talking to this person and they just feeding you lie after lie after lie, and it's like, man, really, this what we doing? So I mean, it's
they can tell the truth, Solomon. I guess
you don't think so?
No, I guess we'll agree to disagree on that. I don't think they can. Well, and I see what you're saying. I think that their minds are so far gone and controlled by that evilness. Because I mean, we wrestle with flesh. We're flesh and spirit. So we wrestle with it. So just think, as much as we all face temptations, we all have strongholds and things that we need to overcome. So I think in some ways it's when that evilness, when you give into it and they are in full agreement with that evil, I don't even know if they can. I don't even know. I don't know. I think at a point they become reprobate, and I don't even know if they're able to do it, even when they may want to do it. Because if Paul wrestled with things, even when I want to do good, evil is all around me, and he was a follower, a disciple. So this is somebody who they may pretend to go to church, they may pretend to be in God. So I don't even know at that point, because they're so in cahoots with their demons, I don't even know if they can. So I don't know. Maybe that's something else to explore.
That's a good point. I mean, I can't disagree with you. I see what you're saying too. It's a good point. I mean, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I have to do some studying on that, I guess, a little bit more. I mean, because I guess I'm looking at it from their adult, and they kind of know they lying. They know that's part of it. But then you're right.
They're not adults mentally. Mentally, they're not adult. They're stuck at whatever age. They're little. I don't want to say they're little. Their trauma happened. They just haven't recovered. So they're that age mentally. Physically they may look grown and like a full functioning adult, but mentally they're in Candyland somewhere.
In Candyland. So they just out there in La La Land. I got you. I mean, yeah. So, like I said, we all have dealt with narcissists and with the lies, and then the constant lying, and then I don't know. It's like once they start lying, they get so good at it, you believe it. And the reason why I tell you that, because I did it. I was believing. I was like, like my ex, like I say, she was going to, to Honduras and stuff. I'm not gonna get into the whole thing because me and Shane gonna talk about that next week, like I said. But she'll tell me she's going to Honduras for work, so I believe, I trust her, So I'm thinking, everything on the up and up. Nah, everything was not on the up and up. It was not even close to being on the up and up. Everything was a lie after lie after lie after lie. If I sit there and unpack all of it, it's like, wow, this whole, like I said, the whole marriage was a lie. So I don't know. Like I said, I don't even count that marriage. It's like it don't count. I want to redo.
Okay.
I want to redo.
I think God gave you a redo.
Yeah, well, see, I got to re-up. Hey, So yeah.
Crazy.
I ain't doing that. So yeah, so those lies, and then when like Jamaica Bar was talking about, like with the abuse and all this stuff, that's all part of the narcissist thing. When they lying, and whether it's physical, whether it's mental, those abuses. I mean, that weighs heavy on you. So it's not just like me and Shannon talk about a lot. You don't know what's going on behind closed doors. I don't know what my neighbors doing next door. They could be fighting, trying to kill each other right now as we speak. Praying they're not doing that. But I'm just saying, you never know what's going on behind closed doors. So even when you see the woman coming outside and you speak to her, say, hi, how you doing? When she say great, is she really great? We don't know. It might be a lie. I mean, she trying to cover up for what's going on in her household. So you never know what's going on in anybody's house. So my thing is, don't judge people based off of just what you see, because just because they got makeup on and look nice and got a nice car, we don't know what's going on in the house. It's just a bunch of lies. So just remember that.
Yeah, I lived that. I was that woman that you just talked about. So absolutely. And that's why I had to repent. I had to repent because I was living a lie. And, and some people try to say, the marriage thing, you shouldn't get remarried. That's a whole nother conversation. But you have to see God for yourself. You have to see God for yourself and have that relationship with God for yourself. But yeah, I lived that life. So absolutely. I totally agree.
Yeah, that's what's crazy is, though, now I'm thinking about this, now that we're talking about it again, I know we didn't talk about it before, that's what makes you who you are, though. The stuff that you went through is what's making narc-free living what narc-free living is. It's what's making girls what girls is. So you look at the whole, it's what's making faith-based workplace what it is, going through those trials and tribulations. And it's like I said, God put us together for a real reason. It wasn't just, oh, let me just put these people together just because they look nice as a couple. No, it was more like, okay, we got some evil stuff. It's deeper than just this person crazy, way deeper. So he was like, let me bring these people together. All the lies that have been told, on them or about them or whatever, we're going to sit out here and expose it. I think I know that's what we're doing right now. we're getting into it. Yeah, like Adrena said, purpose.
Yes.
Exactly.
Amen.
Yeah. So moving along, I got a question though. For y'all that's in chat and Shannon. Why do we continue to allow the narcissists to lie to us, even though we know they lying to us?
You want me to answer that? You want to go first?
You can answer. I'll follow. Ladies first.
I think by human nature, if I look at it from that perspective, we want to believe that somebody is telling us the truth. Like that's why narcissist abuse, unless you've been through it or seen somebody that you love go through it, most times people won't believe you. They don't, because it's hard to wrap your mind around that somebody is just that good of a liar, you know? So it's almost like you're in a bubble, you want to stay in your bubble, you know, but at some point you have to come to terms with the reality of who someone is, you know, and for some people, it's hard for them to come to that realization, you know, so they stay in their little bubble and they just continue living the lie, you know, so, and they get comfortable with living a lie. And to me, yes, wanting to give the benefit of the doubt. Now, I don't give you the benefit of the doubt. I'm sorry, I don't. Maybe once, I said that on my video, maybe once or twice. And after that, and that's when, like Danny said last week, we have to become good fruit inspectors. Okay. Yes. And that's what I wasn't. I wasn't a good fruit inspector, because no matter what your mouth say, your life is going to show. The fruit is going to show in your life. The fruit is going to show in your spirit. So we absolutely do have to become good fruit inspectors, and not just listening to a person's words that are coming, because they know they have that gift of gab and they play on our emotions. So you have to be able to look at their actions and their patterns, what they've done before and their behavior. So I think a lot of people just can't come to terms. You know, they want to live in their bubble. It's protective on some level to them.
Yeah, when attention is real, right? Trying to make something real that is fake. Yeah, and it's all a front of the facade. And like you said, I'm not going to repeat everything, but yeah, with dealing with a narcissist and you're in this relationship, it's like a lot of time, money, all kind of stuff invested when you, and don't throw in kids and the house and all this. So me and Sharon was talking about that actually before we came on this live. So what happens is a lot of times that I feel, I'm coming from a man point of view. That's what we're about to dig into this one. What I think happens is, with all the lying and stuff that's going on, dealing with this narcissist that you're married to or in a relationship with, it's a lot of other things that keeps you there. And what I'm saying is, like, the kids. So a lot of people don't want to leave because their kid's young. You know, you got a newborn. You don't want to leave your kid. Even though you know this person is basically crazy and they're a narcissist, you don't want to leave. So you try to stay and you try to tough it out for as long as you can. Men, you know, they try to stay, I don't know, I'm guessing, you know, 10, 12, 13 years, try to wait until their kid's like a teen or something like that. Women try to stay even longer. You see, you know, where they in there 20, 30, 40 years. Now their kids grown up and gone. You wonder why they still with the narcissist. But I think what happens is all the lies that have been told to them, they're used to them now. So it's like, I don't want to start over. I think at the end of the day, they don't want to start over. So those lies just become a part of you. So you just sitting there like, well, I've been with him this long, or I've been with her this long, so I know how she is. I know what she lying. I know, you know, she didn't cheat on me a few times, or whatever the case is. It's like you accepting what they're doing, which is all the lying and cheating and all that. You're just accepting it. So they didn't cheat on you 4 or 5 times. Like, well, you know, I've been with him. He good. What?
That's sad. That's a sad way to live. And I went through that even in a friendship. Well, you know, the situation in a friendship, kind of like with Adrena's story, not as that bad, but a friend within our circle we found out she was a narcissist, and we had been knowing her for years, you know, and she was bad mouthing, you know, another friend. But those two end up being back friends together. And once she showed me that she was a narcissist, I'm like, I'm not being friends with her. But it was just mind blowing to me that the one that she had came after ended up being back friends with her. So I'm like, this woman has tried to smear your name and call you a narcissist, called you all these things, but you want to be friends with her. So people do it no matter whether it's friends, relationships. And I guess because we've been friends, so-called friends for, 30 years, people are just like, well, I know how she is. But I'm like, she tried to, you still want to be friends with her? I'm like, oh, good luck with that, because I'm out.
So do you think that's more of a acceptance thing because they was friends for so long? So it's almost like the couple, like being together, like, okay, we've been friends, I know her, so I'm just gonna accept that behavior, I guess.
Yes. And I told you, when people really start to love themselves, people say that we say, I love myself. But people will really show if they really love themselves. Because if you really love yourself, you're not worried about rejection and abandonment. But when you have rejection and abandonment and attachment issues, it manifests in so many ways. And it manifests in you attaching and not wanting to let go of people that are unhealthy for you. So that's why you have to deal with those strongholds. You have to deal with that abandonment and rejection and all that stuff, because when you don't know who you are in God, you will hold on to people that you should have let go a long time ago. Friends, associates, work partners, whatever. When you don't love yourself, when you have attachment issues, you want to stay. This is my friend for 30 years, even though she's toxic. She talk about me like a dog and do all these things, but that's my friend. It's something wrong with that somebody needs to examine.
Yeah, it's sort of like what I talk about in the workplace. I'm actually about to do a video about that. I just did a video, but I'm about to do it. And dig a little bit deeper into it. Well, people, they go to work. I did a posting about it today, actually. And they always calling people they friends, but you don't really know these people, but you like to tolerate them because you work with them. So it's the same thing. Okay, well, I know this person. They are my friend. But guess what? I know they're a narcissist, but I'm still going to stay with them. That makes not a bit of sense. It makes no sense. So, this person is evil. Like you said, they're trying to destroy your name, destroy your reputation. Some of them trying to destroy your family, destroy you, just period. Yeah. And you're going to sit there and allow this person to do that. Man, sometimes you just got to stand up for yourself. And you got to, like you said, you got to cut them off. You got to cut them off. And like One Love said, I'm scared to be friends with new people. It's scary. It can be scary.
It is.
My friends should be small, to be honest with you. I know I got real small since we started talking about narcissists and talking about God more. Our circle and went from this here to like, hey, I was talking to all these people, and now it's just a little bit of Shannon too. She laughing, but we're telling you the truth. The circles are like real small.
The right people, though, it makes a difference. It was full of this with fake people. Now it's like this with
real people.
People.
Yeah, I got that. See what Danny said. My marriage was over before it even started because I never trusted her because I found out in the beginning she was a liar. They go that lying thing. And see, I'll talk about that right quick, Danny. See, I had red flags before I got married to my ex, but I had been with her a while, and I was like, well, same thing I'm telling y'all. I was like, thinking stuff will get better. Well, it got way worse. And you'll hear about that next Friday when I tell you the story. It just got way worse than what it should have been. So, yeah, I feel your pain, brother. But happily, you're not in that anymore. You done learn from that, Danny. We're moving on. So we're on the bigger and better thing. We got new friends and new associates, and we're moving along. We got a new family too. So
yeah, I'm proud of Danny. That's hard. And and I haven't seen her in a little minute. Karen, no, she was on another video. I watched one of her videos. Y'all know Cluster B, Karen. She was with her husband for 33 years. That's hard. So when people are in especially long-term, friendships and relationships with narcissists, my heart and my hat goes off to you, because I was married for 2 years, and it was 2 years, it was like dog years. It was like 2 times 7. It was like 14 years a slave. I was like, I don't want to be here. I was like Oprah at the table on Color Purple. Like,
it feels like a death sentence or something. We talked about that too. It feels like a death sentence. Like them 2 years or the 4 years I was in there. It's like, man, this and it weighs on you. And like we were looking at the pictures, like on Facebook, we got different Facebook groups that we follow where the women show the before and after. They show when they was with the narcissist, and after they left, some of them just 2 months. They look like two totally different people. You're looking at them like, wait, that's not the same woman. I mean, they look beautiful. I mean, they beautiful women, but the narcissist is sitting there draining you. They drain you of everything. You got to remember, you're dealing with the line. You dealing with the abuse. You dealing with everything. And then hopefully they family not part of that, because sometimes they can be part of it. So now you're dealing with their family. So all these lies, it's just eating at you and weighing on you. And guess what? You part of it because you putting up with the lie. So it's weighing on you even more because you lying about your husband. Like, nah, he good. He punched you in the face. Well, he didn't mean to. He was drunk. That's not an excuse. So we can't use that as an excuse. But they say it all the time. The same thing with the women that hit on men. Let's get into that right quick. The women do it, and men lie because men, we like, nah, I'm not gonna tell about no woman hit me. Nah, you might want to start, because when she kill you, you'll be like, well, we never knew anything was going on. Yeah. So stop lying for these people. Stop lying for the narcissists is what I'm getting at. Stop lying for them, covering up for them, because all you're doing is being a enabler. I made a video about that. You can check it out. You've been an enabler.
Yeah. It's sad. And I just said that in the video as well. The lies you tell, protecting them, and we've all done it. We've all enabled them. That's why I said I had to repent. When I look back on it, and just it was lies. It was absolutely so.
Well, I'm looking at what One Love said. One of my ex-best friends from Houston, I knew her before I got married, about 25 years. I had to let her go. She had them narcissist traits. We all know what that is, narcissist traits. She had to go. No, can't do it. Hey, cut them off. Hey, you got to go. You got to go. I had to do it too. Earlier this year, I cut off my stepdad. Been with me since I was a little kid, since I was about 5 years old. You got to go. Once I realized everything going on and learned more about narcissists, I ain't talked to him since April, I think, March. And don't miss him. Hey, it's like Shannon said, I agree with him while you're alive. Hey, bye. You got to go.
Yeah, it's like, now that you know about this stuff, it's one thing not to know, but once you know about these things, it's like you have a responsibility, and people will try to say, oh, I'll just set boundaries. Okay, we'll see if that, let me know how that works out for you. I pray that you be the exception, but it doesn't work like that.
Yeah, boundaries only go get you so far. That's like one of your first two things you're going to do with the gray rock and boundaries. That at some point you're going to have to make a decision. I have to let this person go. And I say let them go. I mean, you really, like she said, you let them go and you just don't talk to them. You go no contact. You block them on everything, like Shannon discussed before. All your social media, you don't talk to them. You have nothing to do with them at all. You don't care if what they doing over there at their house. It has nothing to do with you. And like Shannon mentioned a couple times back, don't be on their Facebooks and stuff and trying to figure out what they got going on. That's just draining you down, and because it's all lies. It all go back to lies. So you just putting up with the lies still. So just know that.
Yeah, I think some people may have to wean themselves off of people, but I go cold turkey. I don't want no parts of you. I will cold turkey.
Yeah, look at what Adrena posed. I don't even think I necessarily enabled her, but because I had no idea until 2 weeks. See, that's that. We've been there, Adrena. Didn't know. I didn't know. I was lying for my ex the whole time, thinking everything. Oh yeah, she just working. I'm lying for her, and not even knowing I'm lying. So we all lying. We all some liars. So I learned from my mistakes, though. I can tell you that. I learned that was all a lie. That's not how I want to operate or move. So I had to let that go. You got to move around.
Now, shoot, I tell the truth with anything. I'm not doing well today, but keep me in your prayers. It's gonna be all right. You know what I mean? It's just like once you've dealt with somebody who pathologically lies like that, you want to live in truth. So it is like, no, because the truth really, it shall set you free for real. So and all that has to do with loving yourself enough to be honest with yourself, loving yourself enough that to tell people the truth about who you are, because that's what narcissists can do. They cannot come to terms with really who they are, enough to look at it long enough to examine themselves and say, okay, I'm this way and I want to make some changes. No, they're going to project all that onto you. So you got to be able to sit with yourself and make up in your spirit if you're going to continue on in lies or you're going to move on and live your life, in honest and in truth. So now I live that way. And you're right. I guess in some ways, narcissists and empaths, whatever you want to call it, it is a lot alike, both wounded, both do things, a codependent or an empath gives up themselves to be in relationship with the narcissist. So if you stay in relationship with a narcissist, you are essentially giving up yourself in order to be with this person. You know what I mean? Because you're not going to live to your full purpose living with them and being with them. You're not going to do that. And then you're not going to be able to be honest and live in God's truth. And you think God's going to bless that? No, it's not. So you're going to be living a lie, and you have to make up in your mind if that's what you want to do.
Agreed. Totally agree. Like I said, the line, I guess you got to come to a point where you realize, okay, you've been lied to. Whatever it is, all the lies that you've been told. And you got to make a decision. Like you said, you got to come within yourself and figure out, okay, what's my next move? That's what it comes down to. What's my exit plan, if that's what you want to call it? What's my next move? However you want to do it. But you have to figure out a way, okay, I need to do something. Now, I know we're not telling everybody to go get a divorce. That's not what I'm telling you. I'm telling you what I do. Shannon can tell you what she did. I came up with an exit strategy how I'm going to get out of here.
Yeah.
Because I'm basically... Yeah, I'm basically in quicksand. I'm in quicksand. So I'm like, okay, nobody throwing no lifelines out there. I'm out there by myself. So by myself, with the help of God, I got to figure out, okay, I got to get out of here. And that was God's hand that reached me in that quicksand and pulled me out. It wasn't my mom. It wasn't my stepdad. It was God. So he pulled me out. So once I get dusted off and cleaned up, okay, we got to get to moving now.
Yeah.
And that's what we got to do. You got to make a decision.
Yes, I'm like Adrena when it comes, because my heart is too big to be around shady people when I know that you're shady. So once I know, it's one thing when I didn't know, when I was unconscious and going through life unawakened, I didn't know. So, but now that I'm awakened and I see that somebody is shady, demonic, toxic, dishonest, I'm out. Like, I listen and I take it to God. And I ask God, and I test everybody's spirit by the Spirit. And I ask God, who is this person and who sent them? And then if he reveals that person is not good, snip. It's not hard. It's not hard. But I had to get to a point where it's me or you. Yeah. It's me or you. I'm choosing my way. I'm choosing God's way, because God told us to get away from evildoers. But because we are rejected and abandoned, some people, they feel like they have to be in a relationship with the narcissist. That is not God's plan for our life. It is not.
Yeah. So, okay. So hello, Healing from Toxic. Welcome. Okay. So saying that, this is my question to you, Shannon. I'm shooting it to you. So once you realize that, you're with a toxic person and you realize this person is a narcissist, and you make the decision to leave, can you tell people what happens next? Like, what do you think the narcissist is going to do next once you leave? We can go through, a couple of minutes of just saying, it's going to be some lies, I can tell you that, involved in that, but what do you think happens next? Or what do you know happens next?
Well, they already been smearing your name. They've already been lying on you already. It's just now that they can really unleash that beast. They really can unleash it. Oh, it's Healing from Toxic. Oh, I love her page. She has a page. We'll have to talk about that at the end. But once they're going to unleash all that stuff onto you. Oh, it's the gloves come off. It's now it's like, woo, I can really be my demonic, evil, tormented self. And I'm going to inflict that all onto you. And now you thought you were, it was a little smear campaign, during the duration of the relationship, the friendship. Oh, now that smear campaign is going full force. So, they show you exactly who they are, and then they're going to try to come back. I'm sorry, y'all. Then they're going to try to come back. Excuse me. They're going to try to come back after they do all these things to you. That's the sick part. After they've done all that stuff to you, they're going to try to come back. So you got to throw up your deuces and love yourself.
I thought that was my phone. Oh, okay. Yeah, but you're right. Yeah, it's a lot of things that come down to when you're dealing with narcissists, and once you make the decision to leave or cut them off, like Shannon's saying, the smear campaign, that's bad. And then it gets worse when they take your family and try to use your family against you. That's when a lot of lies go. So they're gonna throw out lies like you done did all this evil stuff. You swear you did what them people just did at the doggone Capitol Hill on Wednesday. Now you just ran over there and went trying to take over the Capitol. That's what they're gonna make it seem like you America's worst nightmare. And really it's not that. Really it's the narcissist trying to get people on their side. So that's what we're talking about. That's why all the lying coming in, the smear campaign. Most of the smear campaign, you really look at it, it's all lies. I mean, think about it. It's probably about 90% lies. A little bit of truth, but it's mostly lies. And I'm like, yeah, you can say whatever you got to say about me. I mean, I really don't care. But so far as smearing my name, so it's a whole different thing.
Yeah, it is. And when you're first going through it, I know me, when I first started to hear the smear campaign, I was like, no, no, calling everybody, no, trying to convince them that I'm not those things that the narcissist says. And I posted that today on my page. Like, now, I don't care what you say about me. I don't care what you say. If you believe what they say, then you're not for me. You're not my people. Because my people who really know me are gonna, they're gonna stand by you. But you're gonna lose a lot of people. You're gonna lose a lot of people. And then some people will come back. Even I've been in that situation with my family where I had to go back and apologize once I was out of the fog and able to see, what my family really was. After I went no contact, I had to go back and apologize and repent and make that right, with God, and make that right with the person. So you're gonna lose a lot of people that you love. So you got to get to a point where you're willing to walk away from anybody. As long as you got God, you can recover. But we are so ingrained to want and need people, the wrong people sometimes, but you got to let the wrong people go so the right people can come in.
Yeah, like you said, you got to make room for those people. So the longer you keep those toxic people in your life and taking up for them and saying they friends and saying they family, the longer God can't bless you with these blessings. So it's like in his hand, God got blessings, but you holding on to these evil things over here. So he ain't gonna open up this hand to pour out the blessings. You gonna sit here and be like this here, like with a closed fist. So you basically punching yourself. It's like going outside and hitting yourself. So the minute you get rid of, I tell you what happened with like with me. The minute I started getting rid of certain people, stuff started moving. Like Shannon said, ideas started coming in. Like, oh, okay, so now I can do this, and the other. But the whole time, hold on to these people. Look all the years I'm gonna say I wasted holding on to toxic family or toxic friends. And then once you cut them off, go like, okay, now you're ready, my son. You're ready, my daughter. You're ready to move forward. But you keep doing what you're doing. Hey, that's a definition of insanity. You go get the same results. So that's basically what you're gonna do. You gotta let something go to get something. Yeah, it's like having a car note and saying you want a new car. Well, you either got to trade that car, got to sell it so you can go get that new car. It's the same thing with this. You got to cut off these doggone friends and turn around and tell God, hey, bless me. I need your help. I do it all the time. Drop down on my knees and say, I need you. I don't need my cousin. I don't need my mama or my dad or none of them. I need my father. Talking about God, that's what I need. So,
and you had so many good points on that, but that goes back to those ungodly soul ties. That goes back to that. That goes back to, and people don't realize you can be in an ungodly soul tie with your mother, with your father, with your friend. Anybody that's trying to seek to control you, anybody that is using witchcraft and control and all that to influence you and to lie to you and to manipulate you, you are in an ungodly soul tie, and they automatically make you be disobedient, make you walk in disobedience to God. You either walk with God or you walk with the enemy. So once you do that, now you are in covenant, and that's why you have to break that soul tie, because now you are in covenant with the enemy. Okay, so you got to break that soul tie and get rid of those people. God didn't say, oh, keep the soul tie, but talk to them and we're gonna work it out. God doesn't work like that. I told you, we always think we can do it our way. I'm gonna talk to my mama. Like, God ain't gonna see it, and then maybe he'll still bless me. He gonna still bless this relationship. God doesn't work like that. You walk in total disobedience, or you walk in obedience. Okay, and he is not gonna bless those relationships because narcissists, they essentially make themselves God. You have to worship them. They usurp everybody's authority. So, and people act like, oh no, God wants me to honor my mother because she's this, or honor my father. No, you know what I mean? Now he says, I didn't say don't, dishonor them. But what I'm saying is that does not mean that you have to be in relationship with them. Okay. People act like you cannot, if you're talking about your story, or if you are, whatever the case is, if you're not in a relationship with them, that you're not honoring them. No, that is not what that means. You can forgive, but also and not reconcile the relationship. So there's so many dynamics with that.
Yeah, it is. And my thing is, as long as you're telling your story and you're being truthful, you're not spreading lies.
Right.
It's your story. It's your story to tell. And I say this all the time. Nobody can tell my story better than I can. Not even Shannon can. She knows a lot of my story, but she can't tell it better than I can. So the minute you realize that the narcissist line and the smear campaign, all this stuff, you dealing with toxic people, I'm telling you, just listen to it. The minute you get rid of some of these people and go to God first, man, it's like opening up, going through a 8-foot opening, like everything just wide open. It's like, whoa, I didn't know it's like that. But the whole time you staying with him, you got like a little bitty hole, and you like looking through, like, hey, I see. Nah, God wants you, what I'm saying? God wants you to see. I'm trying to use different words so you understand what I'm saying. So it's I'll give you another one. It's like looking in your rearview mirror, that little bitty mirror, or looking through your front windshield. God is the front windshield. You looking at that rear view, you dealing with toxic people and all of that's why they're in the rear view. Get them back there. Y'all got to go. You got to fall back. Like Shannon just, you got to fall back. So yeah, look, I want to look through the front windshield. I can't drive in reverse. I'm trying to go forward. So dealing with all that stuff and going back to people that didn't hurt you or harmed you, abused you, lied to you. What we doing? What we getting out of that? So now you part of the lie again. You then went back, like Shannon said, you back in the cycle again. And it's going to be that much harder for you to get out of there. You be like, well, I did it once, I can do it again. Yeah, you can. It's going to be harder that next time, though. So, that's my 2 points on that one.
That rear view and that front, that was an excellent analogy. That's exactly what it is. That's what you're doing. You keep looking back. How can you going to crash your car? Keep looking back, so you got to go forward. You got to go forward. And you're exactly right. It just puts you in that cycle of abuse. And we are spirits. Those are those familiar spirits trying to take you back. And what did the Bible say? We're going to come back 7 times stronger, 7 times more wicked than the first. So when you get back in that cycle, oh no, I'm going to talk to, it's my mama. I got to talk to, do you? Okay. That's what you think, have at it. If you like it, I love it. You know what I mean? But you don't have to stay. I don't care who it is. If they are a narcissist, if they have, that is what they want to do, and they want to walk in agreement with demons, because you are wrestling with demons. These are not just wounded people, and they're, like the toxic positivity people. Oh, they're just wounded. They're just nice. No, they are not. Those are demons. So once you look at it like that, I don't play with demons. I cast them out.
Yeah, you have to, because I think the minute you let your guard down, you're letting yourself down. Think about it that way. So you let your guard down, you didn't let yourself down, and guess what? You didn't let God down, because he like, I didn't told them what they need to do. I didn't put a Bible out there. They didn't talk to me. We prayed, talked about it in prayer, and I thought we was on good terms, but I knew he was gonna mess up. I knew he was gonna mess it up.
Yeah,
I knew he was gonna mess it up. So now I gotta go back in there and pull him back out the fire. You threw yourself out there in the fire. You're like, man. So you gotta realize, we're making all these different references and stuff just so everybody understands what we're talking about. But you gotta realize that all this lying and deception that the narcissists do, think about it, is that good or is that evil? It's evil. It's not good. One person lying on the pulpit, lying about everything, and it's still doing good stuff. I'm waiting. Tell me one person. Tell me one. I don't know nobody. Because the ones that's lying, guess what? What you do in the dark comes to the light. So every pastor that did stuff, cheating on their wives and everything, they keep coming out. Remember, that's lies. We still talking about lies. I'm not saying they narcissists, but they lying, and it's coming out. So come on now. Come on.
Yeah, so. And God will expose us too. God will expose us if He has told us to. If we went to Him and sought His word, okay, and we don't listen to that word, yeah, He's gonna cover you in grace for a season. He's gonna cover you in grace, and then if you keep disobeying, He will allow you and your unrepentant self to be exposed. Okay, because God is a God of grace and mercy, but He is also a God of wrath and war, and that's the part that people don't like to listen to. God does not play; He honors obedience.
She didn't say he honors lies. You heard that. He honors obedience, not lies. So the narcissist is lying. Does God honor that? We just gave you the answer.
Right,
So
and
then
why would
you,
he honor? Absolutely right. And why would he honor that relationship? He's gonna honor a relationship that's built on lies. No.
it doesn't make sense. So if your whole relate, like she's saying, if your whole relationship is built on a lie, it started with a lie, it's going to end on a lie.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you got some good times in between there, but I'm pretty sure at some point you're going to realize when it's, especially when it's a narcissist involved, you're going to wish that you noticed them red flags. Like I didn't. I raised my hand. I didn't. So you're going to wish you noticed them red flags, and you took the red flags up and took off running. You know, and waved the white flag while you running because you're sitting there like, man, I done messed up. Yeah, it's 2 flags I mentioned, red and white. Pick up the red ones, take off running, and wave your white flag. I'm gone. I'm out.
Yeah. And then just because you made a mistake, make it right. That doesn't mean, just because you spent a long time making the mistake doesn't mean that you got to sit in it. Okay. You know, some people just like, oh, I'm a hand there, you know, God's will. Don't put that on God. Don't put that on God. Don't put that on God. Because God doesn't want you abused, daughter, son. I can tell you that.
Well, that's them lying on they to themselves. They lying to themselves, really. Talking about God willing. Is it really? Mm-hmm. So again, the narcissist lie, can they tell the truth? I think we done answered that like a few times. No, they can't tell the truth. They choose not to tell the truth. The whole setup that the relationship, it started with a lie. So you got to realize that. And even if it didn't start with a lie, once you start recognizing lies, your antenna should be able to be like, wait, hold on. Something didn't change the atmosphere. Wait, you wasn't lying 3-4 months ago. We got married. Now you going out with your boys or you hanging out with your girls and staying out. Well, hold on. Something wrong. Now, people do go through things. I'm not saying all those people are narcissists. But you start picking up more traits and start studying and watching some of these YouTube videos. I'm like, wait, hold on. You got a lot of traits of narcissist. You're narcissistic. So once I figure that out, okay, now I know something. Yeah. So now I got to do a little bit more studying, a little bit more reading. Because if I don't, I'm lying to myself. I'm just sitting there, like we say, you're sitting there in a lie, and you don't want to be part of a lie, especially a marriage that's based off a lie or a relationship and all this other stuff. Like Shannon said, going deeper than that. Cause I'm talking surface level, really, but going deeper than that is going into the spiritual world. So once you get into all that, it's a whole different ballgame. Everything changes. Everything changes.
Yeah. Absolutely. Amen, brother.
Hey, we just wanted to get this one out here. Like I say, we're trying out a new system and everything. So we want to just try this out and see how everything works. I actually like the setup and everything. I think it's nice. We got some good comments. I mean, great discussion about why the narcissist lies. I mean, it's many reasons why they lie. I only gave y'all 4, and the 4 I gave you, remember, was that they'll say, well, I told you some lies that they'll say don't worry. They'll say it's not my fault, it's your fault. I've heard that a couple of times. They'll say I would never lie to you. That's a lie. And then the ones that tell you I love you, the lie determined that was a lie. So that's a lie too. So you hook them up to that lie detector test, they gonna fail on.
Oh, they might pass.
Well, yeah, some of them lie so much they believe their own lies, so they probably would pass. They that good. They lied so much they don't even know their own name sometimes.
That's the scary part. They can make you believe those lies especially when you're in that fog. You start to question and gaslight yourself, and you like, wait a minute, wait a minute, you start, and it's something that is true, or know is a lie, and then they'll start having you believe the lie, So you got to get away from it.
And that's what you don't want. You don't want to believe the lie, because once you start believing the lie, you'll be part of this whole system, and then all the lies. Guess what? You're gonna start telling lies, and I'm not making it up. I'm not trying to be funny. Once you start believing the lies, you're gonna start lying too. So y'all both lying. So the narcissist got you lying. It's like the puppet master. So they controlling everything, and that ain't what you want. So now you out there being the enabler or a flying monkey and don't even know it. So you got to realize that stuff. That wait, hold on, I'm lying. And once you realize you lying, you're like, well, I usually don't lie, but I'm lying about things like Shannon said. You lying about stuff that don't need to be lied about, but you're lying. You're doing the same thing the narcissist is doing. So yeah, you got to get it together, get it right. You're gonna have to. See what Jamaican Barber said. She said, I always clap back on a narcissist confirming the truth instead of contradicting them. Okay. Good. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. I like that because there's one thing about just people in general. They only gonna remember so much. So if they lie about everything, they can't remember all their lies. They're going to get caught up somewhere in their lies. So they tell lies 24/7. You gonna be able to catch them in different lies, and you just got to make a decision. Wait, hold on. How do I? You know what I'm saying? How do I get past this? So you got to make that decision. Mm-hmm. And I can't tell you when you make the decision. Shannon can't tell you. Or drink. Nobody can tell you when the decision is good. You got to go to God and talk to Him when you need to make the decision. And you know, you don't have to listen to us about what you need to do, but again, you got to go to God and talk to Him and say, God, this is what I'm dealing with. I can't go any further with this relationship. And, I deal with a lot of stuff at work. Same thing at work. Maybe it's time for you to leave that job. You done did all you can do at that job. It's time to go. You're dealing with narcissists as supervisors and managers. They're only going to keep pushing you down. You keep getting passed over for positions. They lying on you. Because they do smear campaigns at work too. It ain't no different. They do them at work. And matter of fact, those smear campaigns, I think, just as bad as the ones that people do in families, because now you're at a place of employment that you got to go to every day, and everybody think whatever this narcissist said about you, it's all a lie. So now you coming to work every day like, why nobody talking to me no more? Or why they treat me differently? All based off a lie.
Yeah. So
you got to realize these things. The only thing we can do, we can pray for y'all and keep it moving, because it's gonna be a decision you got to make on your own. And I'm praying that you make the right decision, whatever that may be.
Yeah. And that's a good point. I know I say a lot of stuff about leaving, but you have to take it to God. Ask God. Even if a lot of people will say, well, I don't have the resources. At some point, faith has to come out, because we want God to give it to us, and then we walk. God doesn't rarely, you know what I mean? God usually, you have to step out, and then God blesses your faith and your obedience and your trust in Him. So, no matter where you have to go, no matter how you have to downsize, no matter how many friends you lose, as long as you don't lose yourself and you don't lose God, you will be okay. Trust God and seek Him above all else.
I definitely agree with that. I couldn't have said that better myself. And it's true. What she's saying is true. I think everybody on here know that's true. For people that's going to watch this video later on the replay and kind of like on the fence, I guess you could say, which way you should go. Should you stay with the narcissist or should you leave? That's, again, you're going to have to go to God and you're going to have to figure that one out. I'm not telling you to leave. I'm not telling you to stay. I'm telling you, got to make a decision at some point, especially when it comes to life or death. Now, you get to that, it's like Shannon said earlier, it's either me or you. So what decision you think I'm going to make? It's about me. Everybody make different decisions. Some people stay, and it's sad to say, some of them get killed or, things just happen. But you got to look at the pattern. They just stayed in this thing for so many years, and then the person ended up killing them. And everybody like, well, we didn't recognize the signs. We should have. And like me and Shannon talk about, you have family members. It's weird. You have family members that stay in the same city, and then like, you used to talking to them, texting to them all the time. And like Shannon say, all of a sudden you start getting some weird text. Like, well, usually they text, a full sentence, you use punctuation and everything, something wrong, and you ain't heard from them in a few months. Hello. And they dealing with somebody that's abusive. You might want to go check on these people. It shouldn't just be, well, they good. I ain't heard from them in 3-4 months. They probably dead or something that happened. But people, I think they leave it up to, well, it's good. I ain't heard from them. No news is good news. Not in all cases. Not in all cases.
Yes.
And then you got this, go ahead.
I'm sorry. Especially if you're being abused, that's a total different situation. If you're being physically abused, now that's all abuse. Narcissist abuse is domestic violence. It is abuse. Okay. No matter how you slice it, but physical abuse, you have to take your life seriously. You have to take your life seriously with that. God does not tell you, because religion, people will try to tell you, I've been there. They'll try to hold you. And I love Christ, but I don't follow religion. Okay. So I'm a follower of Christ. So with that being said, people will try to spiritually abuse you and try to say, oh, God hates divorce. God absolutely does hate divorce, but He absolutely does not want you abused. He absolutely does not want you to be abused. He makes provision for everything. God knows how we are. He makes provision. And if you ask Him, ask God above all we're saying, and He will make a way of escape for you, or He will tell you what to do. And that doesn't, and I'm not saying he's going to tell you to get divorced, or I'm not saying he is, but what I'm saying is he's going to make a way of escape, because he does not want you in a place where you are getting abused. That goes against everything that God stands for.
Yes, that's true. Hey, look at what Jamaican Bar posted it. Once the coverts being exposed, they were over projecting you, and that's true. Because in my situation, what happened was she started asking me if I was cheating, but the whole time she's cheating. I mean, so they do stuff like that. So when they start accusing you of cheating or accusing you of looking at somebody and stuff like that, that's them doing that. So it's like Jamaican Barber says, it's a form of projection. And you just gotta realize and catch on, like something, like I said a while ago, something in the atmosphere just changed. So they start accusing you and the lies start building up. Something wrong. That's when and most of us don't like to go digging and looking because we're scared of what we go find. Yeah, you might want to go dig and look a little bit and see, find enough. Find at least enough. You ain't got to find everything. You don't need to find the pictures of the woman and all that stuff, but maybe find just enough to where you be like, okay, that's my cue. Exit stage left, right, whichever way you going. Time to go.
Yeah. And don't try to get closure. Don't try to get closure with a narcissist, because that's what we do. Oh, I gotta tell them off. Sometimes it's just best to leave. It's just best to leave and be gone.
Yeah, because closure might be a closed casket for you. Let's go ahead and say it. Let's be honest, because you go over there trying to get closure. The narcissist ain't worried about closure. They worrying about destroying you. That's what they worried about doing. They're like, that smear campaign, oh, he ain't came back for more. I ain't got to do the smear campaign. They at the house. So don't be that person. Don't be that person that goes back for more, and then that'd be your last time going back. So
a lot of people do that. That's like, to them, that because they came to kill, steal, and destroy you. So you thinking of it, oh, that's my husband, that's my girlfriend, that's my friend. No, they're looking at you to kill, steal, and destroy you. So they're looking at you like they came into your house to rob you. So they don't want to leave a witness alive, and you are a live witness to tell what you have seen them do. You are a live witness to tell them what happened at the scene of the crime. So they're looking at you as a witness. So they know that they have to destroy your credibility. They know that they have to destroy your character. They know that they cannot leave you alive, whether they have to kill you with their mouth or in the spirit. They're going to do whatever they can to murder you. Okay. So that they're all about not leaving any witnesses. If you make it out alive, then all they're going to do is follow those tactics.
Yeah, we see it too much. And it's TV shows, but it's based off real life. It ain't, some of these shows we're watching, like Fear Our Neighbor and some of the other shows. Shannon got me watching all these shows, but but I mean, some of them good. Like the one I watched last night, I told she got to go back and watch that one. I want to watch it tonight when we get off here, because I've never seen something like this before, that a neighbor went and did this to the other. I was like, wait, what? Yeah, I'm not gonna spoil what he did. I don't remember the name of it, but we're gonna find it and probably watch that, because I mean, these people, and it's crazy. Like learning about narcissists, different shows or different movies that we watch now, we able to siphon out like, whoa, this person a narcissist. This one got narcissist traits, or this person. Yeah. So hey, how you doing, Lori? She in here. Hey, how you doing? So yeah, it's sad, and it's sad that you're able to see so much of this stuff. You know what I'm saying? Happen around you. Like before, 3-4 years ago, I'm just watching TVs. I ain't gonna lie, I used to watch horror movies. I used to watch all the action. I don't watch horror movies really too much, because all the demonic stuff that's tied to it, we'll have to do a video about that and get just into that. But all that stuff, I don't really watch it anymore. So once I start figuring out all these different lies and different things that have been told to us, that it's a lot. Different rappers and stuff I used to listen to, they lying. I don't listen to them either, because a lot of them be lying about stuff. So I can't, you know what I'm saying? So it's lying coming at you like being fed through a fire hydrant or something. It's not a little water hose. It's like that much. So dealing with that narcissist and dealing with stuff like that, once you start dealing with all those lies, the smear campaign, at some point you're gonna have to say enough is enough. You're gonna have to. You're gonna have to stand up and get out, because you can't take it. We human. You only can take so much.
Yeah, absolutely. So I guess, summing it all up is like, once you know who a person is, what does that saying go? When a person shows you who they are, believe them. So you're gonna make them out to be you've shown them their fruits. A person's fruit has shown you who they are, and now you're gonna make a pear an apple or banana an apple. It doesn't work like that. So it's up like that. At that point to to live your life in truth or to live your life living a lie. So, oh, and then something I wanted to say when you said about telling your story, guys, please, when you get to a point where you're able to, you're out of that season where you're just, you're trying to figure things out and you're laying low. Because I always say you're going to lay low for a season. You're going to mourn for a season. You're going to grieve. You need to heal. And healing is a process. But it's going to come a time where it's time to tell your story. Okay. But don't allow that narcissist to make you sit on your story. We see it too often. Your story is your story. Even if it's your parents or whatever the case is, your story is your story. Okay. Because people will be like, and I think that's what I was going earlier. People will be like, well, aren't you over it? Why are you still talking about it? Your story is your story to talk about it as long as God puts it on your heart to talk about it. Okay. And talking about it does not mean that you are not healed or that you did not forgive the person. So society will put all these stigmas on you of why you should be quiet and why you should live low and why you should, not tell your story, why you should honor your parents, why you should not, just forgive and let it go. You have to know who you are. You have to know what you stand for and know that your story is your story to tell and share. And your story is going to help somebody else out. That's how we overcome by our testimonies. We don't overcome by living small and being quiet and not wanting to offend the narcissistic devil. That is how they win and continue on with this pattern of abuse.
Well, I'm just looking at some of the comments coming through. Adrenaline actually removed my vids, all of them, a couple of days post Discord, thinking she would leave me alone once I lay low for a bit.
It doesn't work.
Nah, if they want to bother you, they go get at you no matter what. You can, and Shannon did it. You can block you. You can go on Facebook and all this stuff and block all this stuff and take it off. They want to get at you. They go try and have them, go through another person. Try to get, they think you friends with or whatever. So they're going to try different tactics. It's all tactics. It's like being in the military and having, rules of engagement. So they're going to try different things to try to get at you. So you have to figure out, well, you don't have to figure out, we're telling you. You have to know what you're dealing with and then figure out, I guess, past that, what you going to do about it. So it's like she said earlier, you have to, rise above the hate or rise above the narcissist, because you can't let them destroy you. Like Shannon said, your story is your story. It's different ways you can tell your story. You can write a book. You can write it down. You can tell somebody about it. You can do YouTube. You can be on Facebook. But you got to tell somebody. Don't sit there and don't tell nobody, because if something happens, nobody knows. That's the whole thing we're trying to get through to y'all. If something happened to you, nobody knows what happened. But you start telling different people, hey, look, I'm a guy. I'll go ahead and throw it out there. You start telling somebody, hey, my wife abused me. Nah, you go ahead and get some guys that laugh at them. I'm talking about, like Shannon said, your real tribe, your real friends. Yeah, my wife been abusing me. I think she's trying to kill me. People take stuff like that seriously. So guess what? If you happen to get killed, we ain't running around doing an investigation for 2 years talking about the police trying to figure out. Usually go look at the wife anyway, but I'm just saying, they go in and be like, well, hold on. Such and such, he already told 2-3 people,
But Solomon, what happens is, and we've seen it. I watch a lot of like Dateline and stuff.
Yeah, you do. You do.
I watch a lot of TV, but I like Dateline and Fear That Name. I do. So like people will gaslight you. So you have to take your safety serious. And I've seen on Dateline where somebody was missing. Okay, it's two tales. A family member was missing. The police take it seriously when you know your family member's history, what they, you're adamant. But if you go in there like, yeah, she didn't come home, he didn't come home. Yeah, they usually show up every now and again. And then they'll say, oh, well, she was depressed. They're not taking you seriously. They're gonna say, oh, in 48 hours, you go home. We're going to write this report and yeah. But the family that comes in there and says, listen, this is out of character for her. This is what they normally do. They always, when I call, if I miss her call, she calls me right back. These are people who know your movements and know how you work. It is the same thing. So if you don't take yourself seriously and you gaslight yourself and act like your situation is small and don't tell anyone. You need to take your situation seriously. That is serious. I'll probably tell this too. I had to I have a restraining order against my ex, and I have not a restraining order, peace bond against my own brother. Okay. That's because when he made threats against me and my husband, I had to take that seriously. Now, somebody else would have been like, no, like, it's your brother, no, he has demons inside of him. My brother is long gone. You know what I mean? So you cannot gaslight yourself. Don't gaslight yourself. Okay, Files. Yeah. Yeah. So it just makes you think differently. It makes you think strategically, and it makes you never underestimate somebody. A lot of people are gone because they're like, oh, no. And you see them on the TV on Case File. Well, I know him. They would never do that. The person I know would never. No. I'd be looking like, girl, if you don't shut up. You do not know him like you think you know him. Oh, I knew little Timmy when he was little. I used to, that's how they act. Like, I'm like, girl, shut up. He's a psychopath, So take your life. What I'm saying is take your life seriously. Take it seriously. If somebody is threatening you, if somebody is doing these things to you, take it seriously. Even if you just write it in a journal or you just let somebody know, don't be like, well, and don't let other people gaslight you, but just be like, no, this is serious, guys. Like, and I guess a lot of times, like, you're still trying to wrap your mind around what happened, but you gotta start to put the puzzle pieces together faster, okay? And start writing these things down. If you're with that person, you record a conversation, you write things down, you document. You have to what I'm saying is take your life seriously, because it is serious. This is not a game out here. Don't underestimate demons.
Well, I'm putting up what she said. My ex-husband found out about my channel, and 2 of the family members began to stir up things. I didn't expect the family to go that route, but I have to speak the truth and wisdom. Yes, one has to be. Hey, Lord, we with you.
Yeah, we right there.
Keep telling your story, keep speaking. And like me and Shannon, we like to support, so we're gonna keep supporting and watching videos and doing that, because going in the chat talking, because I think what they try to do, well, I don't think what they try to do, they want to silence you, because once you start telling stuff, they don't want their story to get out, because now you're destroying they fake life, they life that they didn't told everybody. So keep telling your story, keep standing on faith, going to God, keep telling that story, because that story is going to help somebody. And like I said before, and Shannon said, I don't care if I help one person just from telling my story. Well, that's the person I'm supposed to help. Mm-hmm. So keep telling your story. Don't let the smear campaign or the family try to go against you. The family, it's like Shannon said, the family on earth is not your family anyway. Think about that. The family on earth is really not your family. Yeah, we blood related, like they say, but they don't treat you like a family should really. When you really look at what a family should be, how they should treat each other, most families don't treat each other like that. There's a lot of the gaslighting. There's a lot of the smear campaigns. They take one family member and say they crazy and push them, ostracize them out like they're on an island. And then you kind of find out nothing wrong with that family member, but you've been told these lies the last 20 years. Mm-hmm. Remember, the whole thing we're talking about is narcissistic lies. So you got to start looking at how many people in my family are narcissists or have narcissistic traits, and what lies have been told. Because we all have lies been told in our family. And we're going to get into that next week. Me and Shannon go tell a lot of the stuff that, so next week, y'all going to want to tune in, because it's going to be hot off the presses, type stuff. I don't know. We're going to tell y'all a story. I think y'all done heard bits and pieces, but to hear it, I think in this aspect, and then, then you can see how we came together, how God is using us. You can see the whole thing. But family, I love them. I love my family. I love my family. But then I got to decide who my family is. You know what I'm saying? So that's the crazy part. It's like, who is for me? Like Shannon said, what tribe is for you? And like I told you, my circle used to be really, really big. So I'm talking about Jesus. So I'm talking about Narcissist. Just like this. I got a little bit of old circle black. But like Shannon said, the people that's in that circle are people that I can call brothers and sisters, like the Dannies of the world, like Adrenas, like Tonya on Just Say No to Narcs, like Natisha, people like that. I ain't gonna name everybody, but people like that has came into our life And you know, they say we pouring blessings into them, but I'm telling y'all pouring blessings into us, just watching our stuff, supporting us. They, you know, just a like or a comment, whatever the case is. You know, you buy a t-shirt from Shannon, whatever. It's like, it's all love. And we try to do the same thing to everybody as much as we can. So yeah, beg the Lord, don't worry about them people that's you know, the family, the two family, you know. Hey, tell them come watch my channel. I don't care about them. They can watch my channel. I'll talk about narcissists all day, every day. Shannon too, we'll talk about narcissists all day, every day. We don't care.
And then to Lori Marie, is your channel under your name? Because I can't type. So is her channel under her name? Please make sure when you get off of here, like Solomon's video, and then make sure you go subscribe to anybody who has a channel. Adrena has one.
Yeah, Adrena
has one. Yeah, whoever, if you have a channel, put your channel in the comments, and we'll go make sure we subscribe to y'all channels, because we have to stick together. I don't know if Healing from a Narc, does she have YouTube? If you do, put it in the comments, and then make sure we all support each other's channels, because we have to stick together, because nobody should be going there, because they'll go in there and they'll downvote your videos. Okay, so we want to make sure that we have your numbers up to support you, because your story is worthy of being told.
And that goes back to what we had said earlier, and we're about to wrap this up. The narcissists think they're the smartest people in the room. Well, when they go there, and I don't know if y'all know this, I told Shannon this the other day, it came to my, when a narcissist goes on your channel and watches your video, listen to me, they watch your video, like right now, we on an hour and 30, we're about to wrap this up. So they come on here, watch this video for an hour and 30 and give me a thumbs down. Guess what they just did?
Thank you.
Yeah, they gave me a dislike. I agree with that. You like, well, Simon, you got a thumbs down. Yes, I did. But what they don't know or don't realize, I just got an hour and a half of your watch time, you idiots. I hate to say that. So basically, you just supported me without supporting me, which is stupid. So you gave me the thumbs down, but you sat there and watched the video. Even you watch it for 10 or 15 minutes and give me a thumbs down, you still supporting the channel. So just remember that when you like, well, all the people not liking my channel, well, if they watch it for a few minutes, you know, you're trying to get monetized or whatever your goal is, they still supporting your channel. It's like a backhanded compliment, I guess, when they do that. But hey, it is what it is.
Go ahead and send it to the family. That's how I send it. Have them watch it. Just tell them to watch it. Watch it from beginning to end, okay? Before you get your like, your damn vote, okay? Crazy.
Yes. Yeah. So like we said, you know, go in, you know, if you like my channel, I usually get an alert, and then I'll go back and check. You know, everybody don't have channels, I know that, but the people that do, I'll go in there and start watching videos. And another thing I'll tell you, this has nothing to do with our subject. Try to create playlists, because you got enough video, you create playlists, then what we can do, we can go in there and watch a video, you know, and it just play all the way through. So you got 4 good 5, you know, how many videos in a row, you create a playlist, then we can sit down. Well, me and Shannon do it all the time, go watch somebody's video, got a playlist, like, oh, there's some good content. I can sit there and watch their video for like an hour. So just a nugget for y'all to just take, you know, for the people that got channels, create playlists, and, you know, just, you know, try to support as much as you can to other people.
Yeah, because we just started our channel, so we're small, but we support. Yeah. We believe in sowing into people who sow into you.
Yeah, Adrena. Yeah, Adrena. Yeah, that's why we start looking at having moderators. We got one in here tonight. so I think we're gonna be good, and we're gonna make sure, you know, it's needed to try to boot them people out. So yeah.
Solomon, you gotta have Adrena on here whenever she's ready.
Yeah, whenever she's ready.
I saw Adrena. Okay, I don't know if I'm supposed to be saying it, but woo, you got a live one. You have a live one on your hand. So I'm glad Healing from a Narc, she said she saved hers and sent hers to a family member. Absolutely right. Save that and make you a folder. Send it to somebody who cares. Now, if you go into your family and they're like, oh, they just playing, don't get discouraged. Just go find somebody else who will take you seriously. Okay. Exactly. So just keep going. Don't let that discourage you, because that's a trick of the enemy. They're trying to stop you from telling the truth. Ooh.
Exactly. Oh, she's making me hungry.
I know. Look, I just saw Adrena's coming. Adrena, stop that. Okay.
Yeah, I know. We hungry over here, Adrena. She always cooking something every time we be in Tanya's show. She been there just cooking and I'm like, man, I'm gonna start cooking too when everybody, I'm gonna start typing out what I'm cooking. Red beans, right? I'm from Louisiana, so I can throw down a little bit. So I'm gonna start putting what I'm cooking too. Probably there to prepare stuff on y'all and be cooking. I know it ain't got nothing to do with this, but but hey, once again, I'll let Shannon have a final word. We appreciate, y'all tuning in and being here, sitting with us, talking about, why the narcissist lies and can they tell the truth, and then, going on topic a few things. But like Shannon said, hey, everybody has a story to tell. Tell your story in whichever way you see fit. You want to just write a letter and just have the letter. At least it's written, or like she said, a journal. But make sure that you're doing something to that way people can know what's going on, and I'll go ahead and say it again. I'm in the process of writing a book, and I'll let Shannon talk about what she got going on. I'm in the process of writing a book. I haven't written it in about a week, but I'm gonna get back on it and start writing into it because there's a story to be told, and it's about my ex marriage. It's a narcissist thing, so I think y'all gonna be like, wait, what? So y'all hear, bro. You tune in next week, man. Shannon's gonna tell, and you'll hear a good bit of that. But then once you hear it, you'll be like, oh, Lifetime movie. That's what it sounds like, but it sounds fake, but it ain't. Shannon, my witness, it's not.
Yeah, it's crazy. The stories we could all tell, So yes, on Sundays at 7, I'll be doing a premiere of videos, and then I'll go into the and then you log out there and then go to the live chat, and we'll be discussing spiritual warfare. Do you know how to fight on Sunday? So just want to make sure that people, have the tools, because this is stuff that churches today don't teach. If you're a believer, that they don't teach. So we want to make sure that we are equipped and that we are breaking generational curses and that we know how to fight these demons. Okay. Because that is exactly what they are. So if you haven't subscribed to my channel, Narc Free Living, please go ahead and do so. And I have blog articles on my website. Follow me on social media. But I'm telling you, God, it's just so many things God is moving with my nonprofit, with my business. And all this came after I went no contact with my family, after I went no contact with, toxic people and got out of toxic relationships. So, and people might think I'm bragging, but I'm telling you, I don't say that. I want people to be inspired, because I have people that inspire me every day. Healing from a Narc, different people on here. Just Say No to No, Pink Girl, Adrena. Like, it's just people who just inspire me. But I can tell you, once I got away from those people that I shouldn't have been around, then that's when, our lives, me and Solomon together, our lives have changed. And that's because out of being obedient to God. Okay. So just stay encouraged. Thank you guys for tuning in. And I really appreciate you, Solomon, for having me on here.
Of course, you're my wife. She's literally right upstairs. So I know it looks like we're in two different settings, but she's right upstairs in the office, just so y'all know. She's not that far away. She's literally upstairs. I know people are like, well, where they at? I'm just downstairs in my office and she's upstairs in hers. That's all. So yeah, let me put up, I don't know if y'all seen it through the chat. So I got a couple of them. That's Tonia's website. Real good. She do every Monday and Wednesday, I think, around 7 or 8, depending on. And then we have Joy. She does hers. I forgot what day it is. I think Adrena knows better than I do. And then you can also look at Shannon's website. She got all kind of good goodies, especially for women with clothing and all kind of stuff she got going on over there. So, and then that's my website scrolling down at the bottom. So, like you said.
So Danny, Danny blessed me. Lady B, they blessed me last week with t-shirt orders, hoodie orders. So I think they're gone. Danny's on here. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Danny, I'm not supposed to be telling your business, but thank you so much for supporting and sewing into my business, because that's what it is. It just helps us give back and do stuff. So, and Lady B, thank you guys for your orders. I greatly appreciate it. Not just them, but those are two I know that watch the channel all the time. So just thank you. Go and support a Spiritual Warrior, Girls. That is the nonprofit, women supporting women and girls supporting girls. So it's something on there for everybody. Prayer and therapy. I have gaslight, all kind of terms that when I wear that, people are like, they're looking. So most of the time they don't say them, but they're looking like, okay. And then I'll get one that'll come up and say something. So it's just things to show survivors that they're not alone. Like, this stuff is more common than anybody cares to talk about. So yeah.
And that's what it's all about, exposing it. So, and that's what we're here to do. And we're going to expose it. Like I said last week, is one narcissist at a time. I'm taking down in the workplace. That's what I'm focused on. Cause they got them in the workplace all over. So once I get fully, you know, going, just go take down one at a time. You know, and you know, it's about support. And I think the sooner we realize that we can support each other through different ways, you know, like I said, giving me a like or a comment or going on my Google My Business and leaving a review, stuff like that. Hey, I'm happy with stuff like that. And I'll probably have that set up for next week, just so, I mean, because you never know, because what it is, like, people look at, and we all do it. Like, before you go to a restaurant, you usually read reviews. I know I do, Shannon does. So you look at reviews, see 5-star. It's the same thing with little small business or nonprofit. You go in there and you're looking for somebody to do life coaching. Now you can have 20 people, but if nobody got reviews and you go down to North Free Living, like, oh, they got 30 reviews, 5-star. That's probably the person I'm going to call and try to make an appointment with. Same thing with faith-based workplace. You know, you go down, you see all the reviews, you're like, wait, let me. So that's all we're saying, just support. And like I said, and Shannon said, if y'all have a business, man, send us a link. Hey, you know, however you want to do it, a link or, you know, email or whatever, and we will surely support however we can, you know, whether it's a like or a comment or whatever. So we, you know, yes. Any last words, Shannon?
I like Danny's comment. We can leave on that. Amen. Amen. Thank you, Danny. I really appreciate y'all. Y'all like family, so we appreciate y'all.
They are. They are family. They are. Adrian, you gonna stop talking about all this food now. You starting to see. You just talking about her and coaching. I see y'all both just talking about food. And I'm hurt my stomach. I'm gonna record a video after this, but I'm not gonna give me something to eat. Y'all talking about salmon and all, like, man. I know I should have cooked today, but anyway. We love it. We love the you know what I'm saying, the chat and stuff. But Adrian, you got to send us some of the recipe. You throwing down some stuff I ain't heard of. Some of this stuff.
Start a recipe book. We'll buy it.
Yeah. YouTube channel cooking.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, right. She's showing out. Yeah, she's showing out.
Don't come on. We'll give you some business ideas now. We'll be like,
oh yeah, we throw around business ideas all day, every day, because we know we can't use them all. So if I get something, like, you can take it, you know, and roll with it, you know. Yes. But once again, hey, we had fun with y'all, and like we said, we'll be here every Friday at 7, and then Shannon gonna be every Sunday at 7. That's gonna be the live, so you'll be able to interact. So, you know, we small, but, you know, growing, and we love the, you know, the outlet community that we have. So we'll see y'all next time on Faith-Based Workplace YouTube channel, and you can see Shannon Sunday 7. Shannon, you didn't say what your show about Sunday. You got your
Sunday Spiritual Warfare. Can you fight? It'll be the video and then the live chat at 7:25.
Okay, so the video premieres at 7.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so y'all heard that she's doing a video premiere at 7. Then we're gonna do a live chat at 7:25. So we'll be on there at 7 o'clock. And it works out perfect because the Saints play at 4:30, so that game will be over. So for all y'all that watch football, my game will be over, so I can get on there and chat and have fun. What? You're a Saints fan too? Why are you making them faces? We gotta win. It's playoffs. We gotta win. Okay. All right. I'm done. Good night, everybody. See y'all next time.
Y'all have a good night. God bless you. Bye-bye.
All right.